Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am bringing you guys a really awesome holiday makeup tutorial. This video is going to be in collaboration with one of my blogger friends. Her name is Anisa. She writes the blog Whisk and Heels, and she creates some of the most amazing, like super glam, artistic looks. I love her makeup tutorials. She is the person who is responsible for my obsession with the Kat Von D MetalMatte palette, which, spoiler alert, is going to be featured in this look. So I wanted to create something that was gold for the holidays, but that wasn't a like traditional gold eyes, red lips, because I did a look very similar to that last year for the holidays, which I can link for you guys down below if you want to check it out. But I wanted to take something that was like a little bit more glam and not necessarily just like Christmas, but you could also rock for New Year's or really like any of your holiday outings. So this is a very like fierce, super glam holiday look. I had so much fun putting this tutorial together for you guys. I really hope you enjoy recreating this look, and definitely make sure that you check out Anisa's video. I will link it for you guys down below so you can watch her tutorial as well. I think she's going to be doing something silvery themed, which I think is going to be really, really cool. So let's scooch you guys a little bit closer to me and let's get this tutorial started. So I'm going to start out by priming my face. I'm going to be using this new product from Josie Maran. This is the Surreal Skin Finishing Balm. You can actually put this on as a base or put it on top of your makeup actually. I think I like using it more as a primer though. And it's a very like luminous, almost opalescent cream. It's really, really pretty. So we are just going to apply this all over the skin, and this will just help our makeup to cling better, to basically stick to our face, go on a little bit more smoothly, and it should give us a little bit of a nice glow as well. For my foundation, I'm going to be using the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation in concealer. I use the shade 01 Creamy Vanilla. This is nothing new to you guys. If you've been watching my channel, I have been loving on this foundation for a really long time. So I'm just going to apply this with a buffing brush. This is one of the ones from the All That Glitters set from IT Cosmetics for Ulta. This is the Radiant Foundation brush. So I'm just going to put the foundation like a good solid pump on the back of my hand. Gonna get a little on the brush, and I'm just going to start working this into my skin. This is a pretty thick foundation, so I actually kind of like to like almost press it, like stipple it into my skin and then sort of buff it, just because I feel like it needs to kind of be worked in a little bit so it doesn't just sit on top of the skin. You really want to get it in there. Now I like to lighten and brighten things up a bit in my under eyes, so I'm going to be using the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. This is a nice, very lightweight texture to it, but it does still provide a decent amount of coverage, and I'm going to use a shade Light, which is like a one shade lighter than my natural skin tone, just because I want that brightening effect. So I'm just going to apply it from the wand, and then we're going to blend it in with a brush. I'm going to use an oldie but a goodie to blend this in. This is the Real Techniques setting brush, and I really like this for especially a more lightweight concealer like this one. For blending it in, I feel like it just does a really nice, seamless job. It's really quick, gives you like a very flawless airbrushed finish. I do like to take my concealer up on my lids just because this will help to cancel out any veininess, any darkness on my eyes. And then of course I'm going to want to lock all of this in and set it down. I'm going to be using appropriately the Kat Von D Lock It Setting Powder to do this. This is a nice translucent loose powder. I love a little like star sifter inside, it's really cute. So just to tap a little bit of this powder into the lid. Then I'm going to go in with a powder brush. This is the Brilliant powder brush from the All That Glitters set. And I am just going to swirl this in the product, tap off the excess. And when I'm powdering my face, I like to start with the under eyes because I don't mind that having a little bit more powder. And I'm gonna like basically tap the brush onto my skin. I'm not really gonna rub it because I just wanna place the powder down. I don't really wanna like disturb the foundation or like rub it into it. I just want to pat that powder on top and help it to keep that concealer and foundation in its place. I feel like I'm looking pretty pasty white right now, so we need to add some color back into our look. I'm going to bronze with my Makeup Revolution Ultra Bronze. This is like a giant pan. This is a really good bronzer. It's I think about $7. You can get it at Ulta. It's a drugstore brand out of the UK, and I really like this product a lot. I'm going to apply it with my Real Techniques contour brush. It's funny, this brush is like 20 something dollars, so I kind of find it funny. This is like super luxury, this is super drugstore. I have a healthy mix of both over here on my channel and on my blog, so I do not feel like I stick to just all one or the other. So I'm going to start out by contouring my cheekbones. I'm going to go basically from like the top of my ear. I'm going to start drawing that line and working it towards kind of almost like where the outer, like I was going to draw a line from like the corner of my eye down my cheekbone. I'm going to kind of draw a line in that area, and then I'm going to blend it and like feather it upwards. Not down, but up, because we don't want to make our contour, like make our face look muddy and saggy. We want everything to look lifted, chiseled. Contours just mimic the natural shadows of your face. So anywhere where you naturally have a hollow, it's just accentuating the appearance of it. And then for just like a more diffuse bronze, I'm going to grab my powder brush again. Just going to tap a little bit of this bronzer on there, and I'm going to sweep this along my hairline, feather it on the cheekbones a little bit, warming up the complexion a little bit more. So for my blush and highlight, I'm going to be using one of these champagne splits from Becca and Jaclyn Hill. This is the Champagne Pop and Flowerchild version. So I'm going to grab this little angled blush brush. This is one of the Makeup Revolution Iconic Nudes brushes. I've kind of been obsessed with that collection. So I'm just going to go into Flowerchild, and I am going to gently apply this to the apples of my cheeks, and I'm going to blend it backwards. I think this is such a freaking pretty color. It's like a very, very soft pink, and I think it would be really flattering on people with like light to medium complexions. Super pretty. Since we're going to be doing a gold eye look, that's why I really wanted to use Champagne Pop, because this is just like a really pretty peachy gold highlighter. And I'm using my Luxie tapered highlighting brush. This is a beautiful brush, both in appearance and also in the way that it applies product. I think it does a fantastic job. So I'm just gonna blend this onto the tips of my cheekbones. Take a little cupid bow. Bam. Alright, so now that my face is done, let's move on to brows. I am going to be using one of my most favorite brow products, especially if I'm going to a party or an event and I want them to look solid and on point for hours and not have to worry about them. My favorite thing to go to is the NYX Eyebrow Gel. This is affordable, it's about $7 at the drugstore. This one tube will last you a freaking eon because you need the tiniest dab of product, and it is amazing. I'm going to apply it with my NYX eyebrow brush. This is just a dual-sided brush with a spoolie and an angled liner brush. So I'm going to just put a little bit of this on the back of my hand. If you do have a paper towel or something, I would recommend putting the product on there. I failed at preparing myself for this, so I don't. But it can get a little messy to clean up. You definitely need to wash it off your hands, and it's even with soap and water. It's a waterproof product, so it's a little bit difficult if it's all over you to get it off. So if you have an oil-based makeup remover, you should be able to get it off no problem. Now wherever you apply this, first the product's going to be most concentrated, and then it does kind of get softer as it comes off the brush. So I wouldn't recommend, if you're just placing the brush on your brow for the first stroke, putting it in the inner part of your eyebrow, because then it's going to look harsh. So you might want to start with the tail first and then work backwards towards the middle. Just a little handy tip. Make sure I go in with a spoolie just to make sure everything is distributed nice, softens it up a little bit, gets those brow hairs in place. Alright, so now let's move on to the eyeshadow. This is what I'm most excited about for this look. I'm going to start out by priming my lids within the NYX HD Eyeshadow Base. This is one of my like ride or die products. I pretty much use this exclusively as my eye primer. It's drugstore, it works awesome, and it is very similar to the NARS Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. So this just has a doe foot applicator. It's sort of like a translucent primer, which is also why I think it's good to prime your lids with a little concealer if you're concerned about covering up any discoloration, because this primer will not do that for you. Just blend it in with our fingers. Alright, to start out this eyeshadow look, I am going to be using my NYX Avant Pop eyeshadow palette. This is in the Surreal My Heart version, and even though this is like a very summery palette that has like some really cool pops of color, it actually has some really great neutral shades over here in this like little quadrant. So I think this is actually a really awesome palette of really nice matte eyeshadows, and it's affordable, it's drugstore. I mean, it's under $20, which is still for an eyeshadow palette better than, you know, some of the ones you'll find at Sephora or Ulta that are like $40, $50. So we are gonna start out with this sort of peachy shade here just to set down our existing primer and kind of be a base for all the other eyeshadows to blend on top of. I'm gonna use a fluffy eyeshadow brush. This is the Stunning Eyeshadow from the All That Glitters set. Now these do kick up a fair amount of powder, these shadows, just as an FYI, so you wanna make sure you tap your brush off. And I'm just gonna pat this down on my lid, set down this primer. Next, I'm going to grab my NYX blending brush, and I am going to go into this taupey shade here in the top right corner of the palette, and we're just going to put this into the crease. This is going to be our transition shade. Now I do want to start to warm things up a little bit. Now this next shade here, the brown that is right next to that color, is a little bit warmer, but it's also a little bit darker. So I'm going to take just a tiny amount of this on that same brush, and I'm going to kind of concentrate this in the deepest part of my crease and in the outer V. So ultimately we're going to make this like a really sexy smoky eye look. So we're just taking the time to sort of build up these layers. Alright, so now that I have this base, we're going to start to build up some gold sparkly goodness. So next I'm going to be reaching for a shade from my Kat Von D MetalMatte palette, and I've been obsessed with this since I got it. This is an amazing, amazing palette. It was limited edition. I don't know how easy it is to get your hands on it. So if you don't own this palette, there are definitely many other shadows like this out there. I'll link some for you in the description box down below if you want some alternatives, but if you do have this palette, we're going to be using the shade up here in the top called Flash. This is one of her Metal Crush eyeshadows. And I do believe that she sells, Kat Von D, a Metal Crush eyeshadow that is a gold color that you can buy in a single as well if you wanted. But what we're going to do is take a flat brush. This is actually a concealer brush. I just want something flat and synthetic, and I'm going to spray it with some MAC Fix Plus. Just get that nice and wet. And then we're going to go into this gold shadow, and we're going to apply this all over the lid. These shadows are actually really pigmented and beautiful all on their own, but doing them wet just makes them even more intense and amazing. So now we're going to amp up the drama even more. I'm going to go in with the black shadow in my Avant Pop palette, and I'm going to be using my small tapered blending brush from Luxie, and we are going to work this into the outer V of the eye, and we're going to create like a really smoky look. Less is always more when working with black eyeshadow. You can always build it up, but it's real hard to get rid of if you put down too much. So just get a tiny bit on your brush, tap off the excess, and you can kind of keep building up the layers as you go, as you need it. We're just gonna blend this so softly, just like tiny, very feather light strokes. Barely any pressure on your eyes to bring this into the crease. And if you feel that any of your gold has started to like blend away, you can always go back in with a little bit, build back up some of that intensity. Eyeshadow is all about balance. It's about playing with things, blending, and then we can always go back in with our bigger, fluffier blending brush right along the edges and make sure everything is smoothed out nicely, no harsh edges. You can also use that peach shade as a way of making sure there are no harsh lines. Nice little softening color. Now let's pay some attention to the lower lash line. I'm going to go in with an angled brush. This is the Penciling Liner and Brow Brush. I'm going to take the dark brown shade here, put a little bit of this on our brush, and I'm going to bring this underneath the lower lash line. I'm going to keep it relatively tight. I'm going to bring this pretty much all the way to the inner corner. Then I'm going to take the black shade on that same brush, and I'm going to keep this super tight to the lower lash line and just use this to smoke things out, make this drama. And I'm not going to take this all the way to the inner corner. I'm going to take it like 2/3. Just concentrating it out in the outer corner portion of the eye. And for funsies, to match our highlight, why don't we take some Champagne Pop on a little pencil brush and just pack this onto the inner corner of the eye. You know, just want to punch up that highlight a little bit. I'm going to bring a little bit of this down along the lower lash line, like in the inner corner. Alright, so I think it's time to bring some liner to the party. So I'm going to be reaching for my Tarte Double Take Eyeliner. This is really cool because it has a felt tip liner pen and a gel eyeliner in one. So I'm going to use the felt tip liner side first to create my wing on the top lash line. I honestly don't know why more people aren't talking about this eyeliner. It is so good. It's so easy to work with, and it leaves like a really nice matte black finish on your lash line. It's beautiful. Then I'm going to use the gel pencil side to line my waterline. And then this is a new mascara to me that I'm trying out. This is the Clarins Supra Volume Mascara. I just got this in PR, and it looks like a very traditional mascara wand. It's supposed to add a lot of volume, so we're gonna try it out and see how it works. So it can't be holiday glam without some false lashes. I don't wear falsies all the time, but for special occasions I think they're really fun to bust out. So I'm going to be using these MAC No. 7 lashes. These are really cool and have like a funky, like wispy effect to them. I'm going to be using my Kiss Strict Lash Adhesive with Aloe to apply these. I also really like the taper of these lashes. I feel like it gives you a nice cat eye effect. These are also really lightweight and really comfortable to wear. So if you're going to a party, sometimes it's like if you're wearing really heavy lashes, it just makes your eyes feel like they're being weighed down all night, and nobody wants to be distracted by their eyelashes when they're trying to have a good time. So almost done, time for lips. I want to keep things nice and nude since we did something so intense and smoky on the eyes. So I'm just going to line my lips with this Milani Color Statement Lip Liner. This is in the shade Nude 03. And I'm gonna actually fill in my entire lips with this color as well. Then I'm gonna top things off with a nice shiny nude gloss. This one is the shade Angel, it's by Lorac, but really any like nice nude gloss will do the trick. Glosses smell so good, they're like cupcakes, I love it. Then the last step is just to set everything down with some setting spray. I'm using this one from Makeup Revolution. This is the Pro Fix Oil Control Fixing Spray because my skin is greasy as heck. And this is the completed look. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I don't think this was actually a really complicated look. It does have a lot of steps and a lot of products, but it really isn't that hard to achieve. If you guys have any questions about anything or are looking for product dupes, if you don't have one of these things, definitely post it in the comments down below. I would be happy to help you guys out with that. And if you like this look and enjoyed this tutorial, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. I really appreciate all of your support. And if you're new to my channel, make sure you click that subscribe button before you go. Right now, I post videos every Thursday and Sunday. I'm thinking in January I might change my schedule to Monday, Friday, but we shall see. I will keep you guys posted with updates. So thank you again so much for watching, and make sure you go and visit Anisa's video and see her tutorial as well. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.